All right, what's going on, everybody? This is the Sunflower Showdown, episode 4, I want to say. Got my main man Liam on here, and then we got a recruit on here, Josiah Vermal. Is that how you pronounce your last name, Vilmael?
Vilmael, correct.
No, okay. First of all, Josiah, how you doing today?
Good, very good.
That's what's up. Just came on here to talk a little bit about K State. You're actually the first person that Colin Klein recruited. I know you had a conversation with him, so just what was that about, and what is it like to just be coveted by such a highly respected, school legend like him?
It feels good. Just to know his mindset and to know his background and where he came from. And also what he was doing at the previous place, which is down the road from me, is incredible. And he's determined. Just being on the phone with him that morning, going back and forth, like I can almost hear a guy who's hungry. So it, to me, it was like, yeah, that's where right there. From right there, we just clicked.
I was gonna say, like, maybe watching Texas A&M or maybe just being familiar with him. Is there anything specific that drew you to Kansas State? Because I know you got offers from like Texas and Arizona. So, like, what specifically about the Wildcats drew you in?
Yeah. Um, the consistency of getting DBs to the next level, especially at my position. Um, I'm very athletic DB. I'm fast. I'm physical. But one thing I slacked this year was technique. There's times where I can for sure see myself being developed, needing to be developed in some areas, and there's nobody else to do it with other than Coach Van Malone, who's done it multiple times, and he's also from the Houston area. So getting to work with somebody just like me.
No, yeah, you talk about your athleticism. You feel like your track background kind of helped you with that?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I didn't play my junior year toward labor, and so getting back on the track was what saved me and got this recruitment process kind of going. So
Oh yeah, that's what's up. Being a split athlete, like how did you develop your time between, track and football, and what kind of made you stick with playing cornerback?
yeah. So this process has been going on since I was young. So I've been used to this transition back and forth from track to football, and then kind of just tying it to my game, and then it helping me build. I think at corner, it's the mind. It's like it's a mind game, and not everybody can play it. Why I developed, I learned the game, and the game just came naturally easy for me. So, and then when you have the speed and you already know what's coming, you just put two and two together. You ain't thinking, you just making plays.
Oh yeah, right. And how do you think you're going to be able to bring that to a K State team that was all right in passing defense, but could always do better? You're going up against some of the best quarterbacks in the country within your conference.
Yeah. Um, that's a good squad. They played down their opponent's level this year. They're a way better team than everybody. I feel like coming to them, I think is just holding that standard each and every game. Um, and there's a bar, and I'm knowing Coach Klein is going to come in and set a bar that's pretty high, especially because of what he's done there. And so, yeah, for me, I guess is just bringing that discipline, helping the guys around me, and being able to take constructive criticism from teammates.
Oh yeah, that's what's up. And speaking of that high bar, what's kind of the expectation? Coach Klein, he came in day one saying that he's going to take this program to lengths that they've never seen before. So what's your expectations for next season?
Um, Expectation for next season for sure. Bowl game. I think bowl game is on there every year. Just win the Big 12. That's the biggest one. Win the Big 12 and then playoffs. He has a really good group to do it, and I think he will.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping for a Big 12 and playoffs too. But yeah, that's all the questions I have. Appreciate you for Josiah for hopping on.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, so speaking of Kansas State football, it's not been a ton except Colin Klein obviously splitting his time between Kansas State and Texas A&M, and then he's starting to bring in some guys that he's worked with. Christian Ellsworth, the Aggies tight end coach, and then Trey Scott. He was an exec for the Commanders when they were the Redskins, and then he worked with the Raiders for a little bit. So yeah, just like most of the stuff going on around the program has been around them. I think we talked last week about them not going to the bowl game. It just doesn't really make that much sense. They wouldn't really be getting anything out of it aside from boasting that they had a winning season and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know if you've seen any of the moves or what you think about Coach Klein splitting his time between the teams and how's that's going to go.
Yeah, it's interesting. I know there's some other coaches around the country that have to do that just because the college football, the calendar is pretty complicated. With you got to start recruiting now for next season and getting in the transfer portal. So, I mean, I think it's a great hire. Obviously, K-State guy, and then he went on a SEC program, and now he's taking over that program. I think that's best hire they could have made, honestly, and I'm excited to see where he takes the program and he wants the best for it, and I got full faith in that and see where he can take it.
No, yeah, for sure. I think Texas A&M. I think they win that opener against Miami. As far as the second round, I don't know if they go too far, but I think Kansas State fans will be rooting for him, but they want him integrated to the program as early as possible so they can start getting things going.
Yeah.
Yeah, but turning it over to basketball, Kansas State finally snapped their losing streak. They hadn't won since I think like November 20th. They beat Mississippi Valley State, which is not a great win by any means, but to do it by 60 in the way they did it, PJ Haggerty he bounced back 28 points on 79% shooting. Abdi Bashir Jr. got going, David Castillo got going, and Nate Johnson got going. Just to see the ball go in is probably will build confidence and will transcend to tougher opponents down the road. So yeah, I don't know if you caught the game at all or what you thought about them being able to bounce back in this one.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think you're ever really going to complain about a win. Obviously, it's not against a power forward opponent, but you always want to win these games and just gain momentum. Conference play is going to start soon, and we know the Big 12 is a really good basketball conference, so they're going to need to bring it every night when they're playing on that Big 12 court. So hopefully they can use games like that to keep gelling and propel themselves into conference season.
No, yeah, I agree. Big 12 is going to be really hard. Got teams like BYU and Kansas who literally have the number one, number two draft picks on their team. So I think they just need to hit their stride before they get into the meat of their schedule. But yeah, that's all I got for K-State.
Yeah, so we could just kind of move on to Kansas now. Not much. Obviously we talked about it last week. They just missed out on that bowl game, and then it actually came out this week that they got a bowl invitation because of so many teams are declining this bowl game. We know K-State did it. KU went 5-7, so they were just kind of a next in line type deal for a bowl invitation. They declined it. I understand why they did. It's hard. A lot of the players are probably gone. They thought that was their last game. You'd rather spend that time, money and all that on recruiting, getting in the transfer portal, just kind of regrouping for next season. It would have been cool to see those seniors maybe play one more game, but I think the kind of vibe around the program is they didn't really feel like they needed to play in that bowl game. If they had earned it, if they had gotten that 6th win against Utah, for sure they probably would have gotten to a bowl game, but it was almost just like here, you guys want to play in this bowl because we have no one else type deal.
Yeah.
So I think they made the right choice there, but hopefully KU can keep moving in the transfer portal and high school recruits. They haven't added anyone to that. They had 17 players sign on signing day, and then I think they ranked 11th in the Big 12. But, Big 12, very prestigious conference, so never can complain about that. I think they were top 60 in the country, so can't complain about that. And then Lance Leipold, of course, will get pretty active in the transfer portal. But I mean, you saw K State decline that bowl as well. So what did you kind of think about? You like those decisions from KU and K State?
Um, yeah, I mean, like you said, KU didn't really have, that much to play for. It's not like they get a winning season out of it. And like you said, a lot of the senior players are probably on their way out or just not in the mindset to play. Um, yeah, I also saw like UCF got a bowl invitation. And
Mhm.
I guess it's just like you said, these 5-win teams that were kind of on the outside, just kind of, getting these. I wouldn't call them pity invites, but just like kind of, oh well, all these other teams declined, so we're just kind of throwing y'all in the loop. But yeah, I don't, I'm not mad at the fact that they declined the bowl invite.
For sure. And then that's really all that's gone with KU football. I'm sure we'll see some more people hit the portal. Not too many household names have hit the portal yet for KU. Just some kind of reserve guys that are looking for more playing time. We'll see what KU does in the portal. So we'll keep you updated on the website, of course, with articles, and then we'll talk about it more in depth on here. But just kind of moving to basketball, more news around there. Uh, Today it was released that KU had a assistant coach at the Tyron Stokes a debut at his new high school. He's a number one recruit, number one player in the 2026 class for basketball. They're still recruiting hard for him. They had Curtis Townsend, their assistant coach, at his game last night. So clearly they're still in the mix with that. Stokes releases top three. I think it was Oregon, Kentucky, and Kansas. Kentucky's been struggling this season, and we'll see if Kansas can go back to back years getting one of those blue chip uh, top two guys in the class. So keep an eye out on that. I'm not sure exactly when Stokes will be making his commitment or signing to a squad, but for sure, definitely something to keep an eye on there. You uh, never want to pass up the chance to get a guy like him. He's a great player. I think he had like 30 points last night, multiple assists, multiple blocks, multiple steals. So he's a great player there. And then hopefully he can see what Darren Peterson does this season and kind of just move into that role and see what he does. And then KU played on Sunday. They had the border showdown against Missouri, big rivalry game. And then Darren Peterson actually came back from he missed 7 games in a row for that hamstring injury. He came back, but he wasn't 100% healthy, but it wasn't because of the hamstring. It was because he was dealing with a sickness, actually. Uh, Bill Self said after the game, he's told reporters, he's like, I know you guys think I'm lying because of this hamstring thing, but nah, Darren Pearson was sick, so he just didn't have that many minutes. I think he played 23 overall, but he still made his presence felt on the offensive end. But overall, I think today they had a press conference and Bill Self said that he was practicing this week with no issues. So hopefully he's back for 100%. Overall in that game, Trey White, the Illinois transfer, kind of was the showcase. He had a double-double. He was showing it out on the offensive end. He's been a lot more aggressive on the offensive end when Peterson's been out. I think his role has grown into much bigger than a lot of people thought it might be at KU. So props to him for stepping in. I mean, Flory Badunga doing what he does down low. He's doing great. But hopefully they can mesh back well with Darren Peterson back into the lineup. I don't know how much KU basketball you've caught, but I don't know if you tuned into that game. But if you did, how do you feel about Darren Peterson being back?
Yeah, no, I mean he had like what 17 points.
Yeah.
Was there? Yeah, so he looked really good. Trey White, kind of like you said, didn't have the highest expectations for him going into the season, but he's taken the mantle when Peterson's been out. So yeah, and back to the recruit you were talking about. I think this is what Kansas is trying to do is set the standard with getting top draft picks or top picks of classes and things of that nature. So yeah, so I think that's starting to be the standard in Lawrence. So yeah, good to see.
For sure. And then I think Stokes he transferred to a different high school. So he's probably waiting to kind of mesh in there before he makes a college decision, of course. So we'll keep an eye on that. I'm not sure when it will happen, but KU's still definitely involved, and that's refreshing to see. And then KU's got NC State on Saturday, kind of their last big non-con game before they move into Big 12 conference play. So they'll go on the road to play an ACC team. Pretty good competition down there, so that should be a fun one to watch. Darren Pearson should be fully healthy for the first time in a month, so that will be fun to watch there. But not much else to report. I mean, it was kind of a slow week for KU football besides that bowl thing. But, I mean, Devin Neal, former Jayhawk, scored his first touchdown in the NFL, so that was cool to see. Kansas not necessarily known as an NFL powerhouse, so KU fans getting to see someone score on Sundays is pretty cool to see. But, yeah, not much else to talk about, really.
Yeah, honestly, it's the same way with Kansas State football. I think these episodes are probably going to be a little bit basketball heavy going forward.
Sure.
Yeah, but I mean that's all I got. Do you got anything else?
Now just keep an eye on both our coverages. I mean, we'll be posting daily on things like that. I mean, transfer portal season's coming up, so that's always a crazy time. So just keep an eye out on Roundtable, and we'll have you updated with things you want to know.
Yep, just like Liam said, we're going to keep you all updated on transfer portal stuff. We're going to be doing recaps of basketball games, but yeah, just keep tuning in. We're going to be right back here next Wednesday. Hopefully we get some more guests on the show, but yeah, I think that's it for tonight. We will see you all next time.